Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. So, what is going on with Bitcoin? It has fallen further. What is causing the massive sell-off? Let's discuss that today. And let's discuss this new billionaire that may be following Michael Saylor's footsteps. Let's discuss that as well. All right, let's do it. Welcome, guys. Happy Friday. We are starting out the day in the red. Bitcoin is at 63.5. Unfortunately, it has fallen a little bit further, and many people are wondering why. Why is Bitcoin going lower? Well, today, if you're starting out, the U.S. market is kind of mixed right now. Overall, what's been happening is the U.S. market actually has been doing pretty well. And Bitcoin has been diverging a little bit, right? And we normally don't see that. We normally don't see, say, tech, NASDAQ, or Bitcoin decoupled away from NASDAQ. So there is something else going on right now, right? And the biggest thing that I have found is this. For whatever reason, and I mentioned this last night in my video, for whatever reason, we know that, you know, the ETFs and the funds, they have outflows whenever there's some weakness with Bitcoin. That makes sense. But the German government is selling Bitcoin by hundreds of millions of dollars. And the thing is, they're doing it on the spot exchanges. That's the head scratcher. No idea why this is being done. The German government holds over $3 billion worth of Bitcoin. And I don't know if they confiscated it or they did just accumulate that over the years. But now they're selling it. They have sold $200 million worth in the last 2 days. They still hold a ton, 47,000 worth of Bitcoin. Or 47,000 Bitcoin, I should say. But they sold 200 million by dumping it on the exchanges. So they did so by selling on Bitstamp, on Coinbase, on Kraken, and then there's some other one that is not recognizable right now. So Arkham is like watching this like a hawk right now. And it just, you know, I can't explain it. See, if this was done OTC market, if they simply called up Coinbase and said, hey, we want to sell 200 million worth of Bitcoin, no problem. Coinbase will find someone and there wouldn't be any price disruption, right? But they're doing so on the open exchanges, which really makes no sense. It almost seems like they're doing it on purpose, right? Like they want to affect the price. It's a head scratcher right now. It's a head scratcher. So, you know, on top of this, there are a couple other things, but I can't really explain it. Maybe some of you guys can. It just doesn't make any sense. If they were going to sell, which is fine, you know, why do it on the open market? Why not just do an OTC market? I gotta think that anyone in the German government that is actually responsible for crypto and responsible for selling it knows that you could do this in other ways, right? I don't know. I can only speculate. Maybe they need the money, right? Maybe they have economic problems just like most of the other countries out there. But, you know, $3 billion is a drop in a bucket. I don't really think that's going to solve any issues for them, but it's happening. It's happening. But, you know, why is all these countries having economic problems? Well, it's kind of like they're facing the music, right? Kind of like the U.S. A lot of shenanigans was done years ago, and now we're starting to feel the blowback, so to speak. So besides Germany, right, I did see a couple other headline news today. Like, for example, Japan. Japan's yen has fallen to a 1990 low versus the US dollar. So as much as we say the dollar is worthless, right, and how the dollar is going to basically inflate to zero, other currencies like the yen is having a much worse right now. It's like a 50% drop within the last 10 years, right? So currencies around the world are not doing good. The Indian rupee is also same thing. It has fallen to an all-time low versus the dollar, right? So this is the problem with fiat around the world. Fiat doesn't mean if it doesn't mean it doesn't have to be dollars. It could be yen, it could be euros, it could be rupee, it could be sterling, it could be whatever. They are all inflating to zero. Okay. So bottom line is, even though yes, we have some volatility. Okay, we have a little bit of a sell-off. But ultimately, when all these currencies are compared to Bitcoin, they just keep losing and losing and losing and losing because there is a continuous supply of them and there's no scarcity factor whatsoever, and eventually they all fall and go to zero. That's why we have Bitcoin. That's why you got to stay strong, have patience, and withstand the volatility that we see right now. And yeah, we do see it. Besides Germany selling, the ETFs also have been selling. We had a record 19 inflow day, which was 19 days of inflow, which was absolutely fantastic. And then we started seeing some red. And this week so far, yes, 5 straight consecutive down, right? Outflow. But I like to remind you guys, again, if you're looking at IBIT, BlackRock, it's still zero, meaning it didn't have any outflows despite everyone else selling, right? Most of the selling is still from Grayscale. Grayscale is selling like they just want to get rid of it or something. I still don't know the deal with Grayscale, even though we have seen periods of Grayscale inflow, but now it's just like complete outflow. It's like mostly from them. Fidelity also have sold a lot, but IBIT have sold none, which means BlackRock, Larry Fink, they're doing something. They're planning something big. They want all the Bitcoin they have in their fund, and they don't want to lose any of it. Okay. But again, one of the reasons why Bitcoin is weaker right now, there are those on Wall Street that are selling, kind of like Germany. They don't quite get it. They don't know that Bitcoin is the future, right? They're trading it as if it's a tech stock, right? Sometimes you buy, sometimes you sell. No, that's not how it works with Bitcoin. You want to stay with Bitcoin for the long haul. That's how you make life-changing wealth. You need to stick with Bitcoin for years, not just a few weeks. That's not how you make that life-changing wealth. You make it by holding and DCAing along the way, through the up and downs. You want to accumulate as much as you can before it becomes too expensive to do so. Right? Well, not everyone feels that way, right? Not everyone feels that you need to trade it. Luckily, that's the case because people do understand. And even banks like Standard Chartered is really like getting it, right? The CEO has come out and said some very good things about Bitcoin. They're building a spot Bitcoin ETH and other trading desk, right? So they are fully aligned with helping Bitcoin grow, which is absolutely fantastic because there are some that recognize that Bitcoin is scarce and Bitcoin is worth holding on to. You know, a new billionaire. Well, he's not new. He's been a billionaire for a long time. But someone that's sort of new in the space and sort of not is Michael Dell. You don't really hear about Michael Dell a lot. I mean, obviously everyone's heard of Dell computers, but you know, you don't really hear headline news. Well, recently they made a big deal with Elon with the new AI system for X. But Michael Dell tweeted this: scarcity creates value. Then Michael Saylor responded, Bitcoin is digital scarcity. And then Michael Dell reposted that post. So the two had a meeting of the minds on X. Okay. And the reason why he's kind of new, Michael Dell is kind of new and kind of not new, is because back in 2015, he did tweet out that Dell is the largest merchant to accept Bitcoin internationally. At some point between 2015 and now, I think he removed that ability, but he's heard of Bitcoin since 2015. Not sure if he took it seriously or not, but now I think he is because of Michael Saylor. A lot of these Wall Street guys, Wall Street giants, you know, they really did not pay attention to Bitcoin until they saw what Michael Saylor started doing MicroStrategy, and now it is definitely working, so they are paying attention. So hopefully Michael Dell also sees Bitcoin differently now, and maybe he employs a Bitcoin strategy too for Dell. That would be absolutely amazing, right? All right. Now, besides this, what else is there? Willy Woo has, tweeted about the hash ribbons for quite some time. And this relates to the miners and whether the miners are selling off and capitulating. And there are signs that say yes. Another reason why Bitcoin has been sorted down. The miners have been selling. But, the thing is, most of these miners, they're selling OTC, right? Miner reserves are down to a 2013, a 13-year low. Almost all the way back to the beginning. Miner reserves are very, very low. Mostly because of the ETFs. But they're also selling because they need to raise money. So the good thing about this is, usually when this is over, when the miners finally stop selling because there's no more to sell, that's when we recover. But again, most of this is usually done OTC. Of course, there's some price disruptions. But right now, it's mostly Germany that's suppressing the price because they're selling on a spot market. These miners are not selling on Coinbase spot market. Like, it doesn't... If they did, Bitcoin would be like crashing way more than it has, right? But the good news is, it does seem like the capitulation is almost over. And when it happens, that's when Bitcoin recovers. And you can see the last few times that this has happened, that's when it was like right before a huge parabolic upward movement. And that is exactly what we're seeing right now. So, this next leg up I keep talking about, right? 6 figures that I keep talking about, it's not that far away. It really isn't. Once the selling is over, especially with the miners and Germany, that's when we will have that tremendous rise upwards. And all those shorts that are piling on right now, they will regret it. We have billions upon billions of shorts piled up, going up to 70,000, going up to 73,000. Once we get those liquidated, we're going to have a massive short squeeze that will definitely drive us higher. But, from a technical standpoint, even with all this said, if you're looking at this from a long-term view, from a technical standpoint, really, we're just doing what we should be doing in terms of price movement, because we are a little ahead of the game this time around. But nevertheless, if you compare our current movement versus previous cycles, we are mimicking it almost exactly. And we didn't have some of these problems before. But sometimes, but there's been times, we had minor selling too. But again, you look at how we're moving right now versus how we moved in 2020 versus how we moved in 2016. It's going according to plan. It hasn't really, we haven't deviated. We haven't really done anything different. Right? We're still in the bull run. We're past the halving event. That parabolic phase has not started yet, but we are exactly where we should be, despite all the negativity that's out there, right? Which means, again, that next leg up, the parabolic phase is coming. And once it comes, that's when we start moving towards numbers that we have never, ever seen before. And the cycle may end $200, $250, $300,000. Here's another one, short-term holder realized price. Another like bottom indicator, kind of like the hash ribbons, basically just showing, the short-term holders, what is their average price of Bitcoin. And it's around 63.6. That's exactly where we are right now. And there has been times where we have tested it, and usually it's a bottom indicator, right? Unless you're in a crypto winter, and then it's a different story. But if in a non-crypto winter scenario, that's usually when we are getting ready to turn upwards, right? So that's what it's looking like right now. Here's another fractal pattern that shows that we're mimicking previous cycles. This is zoomed in. So this is basically this zoomed in. And this is versus the last cycle in 2020, how we had periods of sideways movement. We had periods of choppiness, right? We had a little fake out in 2021. We drove up to 40,000, 44,000, and dipped all the way out down to 28,000 before we headed up to 64,000. That happened. Kind of like we went up to 73,000. We dipped down to 55,000. And now we're going sideways a little bit. And again, if we're mimicking that 2021 rise, that's right around the corner. That's when we break through into six figures. It's almost identical. It looks exactly the same, right? So again, I know short-term weakness sucks. No one likes to see their portfolio go down. But just know that we are still moving like how we should versus previous cycles. There's always volatility. There's always periods of sideways movement. There's always periods of dips. But Bitcoin is the one you want to stick with, one you want to hold long term, because all fiats go to zero, especially when compared to Bitcoin. You don't want to be holding something that inflates and robs you of your wealth. You want to hold something that is scarce and very, very, very limited in supply, and something that ultimately will go much higher because the demand is going to outweigh the supply, right? So that is where we are heading upwards, and we may again top out $200, $300, $400, $500,000 this cycle. Now I would say 300 is probably the max, but if I had to guess, somewhere around 200, 250. All right, now what else is there? A lot of Solana ETF news, right? We know that Ethereum ETFs are coming, but what about what's afterwards? Well, in Canada, you have 3IP that's going to file a Solana ETP. A ETP is not the same thing as ETF, but it's pretty close. So, I think that's coming. In the US, after we get some Ethereum spot ETFs, next is definitely going to be Solana ETFs. I know that's coming. So we'll see. It's starting to happen in Canada already. Canada is actually a leader of ETFs because they came out the Bitcoin ETF first. They have several of them actually in Canada, and then everyone else followed, right? So they're kind of the leaders when it comes to ETFs. Again, ETP is not the same thing as ETF, but it's still like basically a stock that's tracking the price of Solana. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. That could be pretty big. I don't know about the volume there in Canada, but still, it's coming. People are wanting this, waiting for this. So it's going to come. And speaking of Solana, I didn't know about this, but there is a Uber competitor called Teleport. That's basically the same thing as Uber, but it's built on top of Solana. So if you think Solana is only a chain of memes, it's not the case. Solana actually has a ton of really useful dApps that a lot of people use. I have no idea. I don't know how this is, but if you guys want to try it, go try it. Teleport. I don't know how many drivers are on there, but supposedly drivers earn more. Ubers pay a lot less. And there's on-chain rewards, and this is all done on-chain on Solana. So absolutely fantastic. And then the last thing is we finally have an update on the super, AI play that is building. Okay, this alliance called Artificial Super Intelligent Alliance. So Fetch AI, Ocean, and Singularity, they are merging. So what's going to happen is Ocean and Singularity, their tokens will merge temporarily into FET tokens. Okay. And this will, they have the conversion rate. And this will be coming July 1st. So in a couple weeks. So if you're holding on to Singularity or Ocean, they'll be converted to FET. And then afterwards, that's when the Fetch AI network will be upgraded to the ASI network. Okay. And then that's when they're going to do all the contracts and everything. But basically, once you have the FET token, it will convert to ASI in a 1-to-1 ratio. That's how it's going to work, right? So, but this phase 2, I don't know, the phase 2 starts, I don't know, like, it doesn't really say, right? It says timeline to be confirmed. So I know the conversion for this, okay, Singularity and Ocean will be converted to FET starting July 1st. And then the old Singularity and Ocean tokens will be delisted from the exchanges. So that's number one. That's coming in a couple weeks. But as for the conversion of Fetch to ASI, there's no time scale on this. So hopefully it's soon. I don't know. But I'm excited about this. This is the first time we have seen something like this happen before. Like, we very rarely do we see crypto projects merge, but now we're having like 3 major merges together, or 2 merges together into one big company, and it's in the AI space. So we'll see how it is. Could be good. Could be good. All right, that's pretty much it. Let's do some Q&A. Rob says, hi, George. German here. Germany has no idea about crypto, and their holdings are due to confiscation. Nothing on purpose here. I refuse to believe that no one in the government, okay, in the German government, knows anything about crypto, and the only thing they know is to dump on exchanges. I mean, they must know something, okay? This is done on purpose. If they were really noobs, they would just send it all to one exchange. They could just send it all to Coinbase or Kraken, right? Why are they trying to hide it? If it wasn't for Arkham, like, no one would even know this. It's because Arkham is tracking their address. That's how we're able to see this. So I can't, you can't tell me, oh, everyone's just an idiot and there's, they don't know what they're doing. No, they know what they're doing. They're trying to hide this. But they're doing it on the spot. Again, why not just call up Coinbase? Why not call BlackRock? Hey, we got, $3 billion worth of Bitcoin that we want to sell. I'm sure someone will be happily take it off their hands. I can't explain it. Someone go call up the department in Germany that's handling this. I have no idea. Crazy Waffles asked, do you think we'll dip below 60 or even go to 52? No, I don't think we're going to go to 52. Is there a chance we dip slightly below 60 like what we have done before? We hit 55 before. Is that a possibility? Yes, but below 52? No. AI, triple top. No, it's actually triple bottom. Or inverse head and shoulders. Righteous thoughts. Righteous thoughts. How long does a cycle last? Normally, a cycle lasts 4 years. Normally. Now, people have asked if this cycle could be different. Could it be an extended cycle or a super cycle? There's certainly a chance of that. There's certainly a chance that this is the last cycle we have, because with so many Bitcoin being held in the ETFs and by whales, are they all going to dump at the end of 2025? If they're not, even though we may have, a correction, doesn't mean that we're going to stay down for 2 years and we're going to crash 80%. It could be something where it's very short, maybe just a 6-month correction or a year correction, and then we're only down 50%, and then we continue to move higher, and then it disrupts all previous patterns. That could be the case too. So normally it's 4 years, but this time around could be different. Andre, what's your opinion about the market? Well, it ain't good right now. Butter sell all? No, I would never advise that. Do you play, Mark asked, do you play any GameFi? What's your favorite project? I don't have time to play games. So no, I don't play any of the games out there. You think all coins will head back to its 2023 levels? We're far, far away from our 2023 levels. Many, in fact, have breached their 2021 high. So, no, I don't think all coins will head back to 2023 levels. I'm guessing you're referring to like the low points in 2023. Like, for example, January or February of 2023 when Bitcoin was below 20,000. I'm guessing you're asking about that, but no, I don't think we're heading there. Jay Quest says, how come you hate my Chevy Cavalier, bro? I don't hate it, man. As long as you enjoy it, I'm happy for you. I'm happy that you have a car to get around. I wonder. Ooh, Coinbase taking a beating today. MicroStrategy, not so much. MicroStrategy is just damn strong. Only down 1.73% versus Coinbase down 4%. Nvidia is taking a breather today. Nvidia has just been going up and up and up and up and up and never stops. iBit going down a little bit. Coinbase is the most volatile right now. Retro Bill says getting a kick out of the over-the-top apocalyptic price predictions in the chat. Yeah, I don't know where people are pulling like some of these crazy numbers. Um, I've been saying when in doubt, zoom out. Okay, and when in doubt, zoom out usually works. I mean, I would give it to the Bears if we drop to like 40K. Okay, like if right now we see this and I'm streaming and we're at like 42K, I would still be bullish about the future, but I would recognize why many people are really panicking, right? Because that's a big, big drop. But right now, like I've been saying, when in doubt, zoom out. You realize that we just been going sideways for basically 3 months. We're at the same level we were at March. We were at 72,000 2 weeks ago. We are at the same level that we have seen many, many, many times in the last 3 months. So we are just basically going sideways right now. We're not crashing. We're not really doing anything different other than just going sideways. And when you really zoom out, you realize that we are doing exactly the same thing as prior cycles, right? But imagine if you were scared out any of those times prior, you would have missed out on all the gains that came afterwards. Robert Knight, I have no idea what a strawberry moon is. Do people just like attach like weird names to things and I don't know, somehow it becomes a thing? Is it a full moon that somehow is red? That's why it's called strawberry moon. Like, it just sounds so stupid. Crypto Surge says, I hate to say it, but Chevy Cavalier is a repug. What is that? I thought you were saying it's a rug. I don't know what repug is. Time to get a whiskey out. No, it's not time for that. Price dropping because World War III fears. I don't think that's true at all. There's no World War III fears at all, actually. It is when strawberry season is over, a rare color moon cycle. Yeah. Something that I don't pay attention to. Let me pull out the moon cycle. Yeah, right here. That's the full moon. Full moons, I don't know, for whatever reason, they bring on really good pumps or dumps. There's just something to it. Like right here, full moon day, right? 2 days afterwards, we start going up. This one, same thing. The day of or the day afterwards, we start going upwards. Now, this full moon, opposite. We could have gone up, but no, we start going down. This full moon, I guess this last one in May is the only one where, we kind of went upwards a little bit, but really we didn't move. We went sideways, right? So this full moon, is it going to go down or up? I think this full moon is going to kick us higher. And here's the reason why. Because RSI on the daily chart is quite low. It's as low as when Bitcoin fell down to about 55, 56,000. But this is actually kind of crazy. If you look at how high the RSI was already at this point in time, and it still went up from 50 to 70, that just shows you sometimes when the buying kicks in, these indicators mean nothing, right? But right now, it does show that Bitcoin is oversold. So if I was going to guess, if the full moon effect is either go pump or dump, I'm going to say it's going to pump. Moon cycles are nothing but coincidence. I mean, a lot of coincidences. Like here's one. Right afterwards, we started making this leg up, right? This one, this one, this one's kind of sideways. No, it still went up. It's like, there's something about the moon cycle. There's a lot of people that trade based on the moon cycle. Kevin, I don't think anyone calls it that. Steve-O B, DCA $400 a week until the parabolic phase. That is right. That's a good strategy. DCA and HODL and wait for the gains to come to you. That's how it works with Bitcoin. I don't know. I just don't see how anyone, again, short-term price movement sucks. I know. But in the grand scheme of things, it means nothing. I mean, my DCA portfolio has proved it to you guys that even though it was down minus 50 something percent, right? During the bear market, the crypto winter was down horribly, 50, 60%. Now it's up 60%, right? Just through simply DCAing $100 a week and doing so every single Wednesday, right? Like DCA long term works. No guessing, no trading, not trying to outsmart the market. When you're buying and holding good assets, that's what you do. That's what you do. Will the Tesla Roadster ever crash on the moon? That's funny. That is funny. Again, I don't know why the German government is dumping on the open exchanges. I mean, they could dump wherever they want, I guess, but not sure why they're doing it on the exchanges. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Happy Friday, everyone. The chats the chat's happening in the live chat here does make it seem like it's a full moon day or it's about to come. Full moon brings out the best and worst in people. I just made that up. I don't know. I'm just saying. It just seems like chat is wild today. Big super chat on Hedgecoin. It's the only story-driven meme coin going around. What does that mean? Story-driven meme coin. There are a lot of memes based on some silly story. But since you brought it up, I mean, since you sent a big super chat, I'll look at it. 13 million. Hasn't dumped yet, so that's good. Liquidity, okay. It's on Sol. Almost 7,000 users or holders. That's good. Don't know about liquidity. Most of the liquidity is locked and burned. 99.9% burned. Top holders, besides one holding 4% and one 3%, everyone else is below 2%. Although that could be fake these days, but chart looks okay. Sideways movement for like a long time, and then for a few weeks, then it started going up. Not bad. Can't find any real faults with it. The one who cares. Do I need to sell my AGIX and fetch before the merger happens? No, you don't need to do anything. It will be automatically converted, according to this article. All right. So if you're holding Singularity, AGIX, and Ocean, they'll be merged into FET. Okay, that's going to happen first. This is the conversion rate. And then after this is done, then FET will be merged or upgraded to ASI. But there's no set timetable for that yet. Crypto Surge, what do you have against Chevy Cavaliers? You're really... Oh, man. My Chevy Cavalier is in mint condition. Collector's item. When did they discontinue the Cavalier? That's what I want to know. Do I still hold Solana? Yes. Massive amount of Solana. Will ASIB sell the news event, launch and dump? Who knows? It could be, but maybe not because they're doing it in phases. So can't really tell. Oh, I remember Dodge Magnums. I remember when I was a younger lad, I really wanted to get a Magnum SRT because I thought it was like the coolest car ever. Thoughts about meme, Vincenti? What's your thoughts about meme land? The project is backed by 9gag and going strong by its great commit. You know, like I don't know if it's just like I'm not informed, but when you say it's backed by 9gag, is that supposed to mean something? Like I have no idea who that is. I don't know if that's supposed to be a good thing or not. It doesn't show up. Meme land? This? Or this? I don't even know which one. No, it says, you said meme. It doesn't even show up. Is it meme coin? I don't know. I don't know which one you're talking about. Is it meme coin? Is this the one? But it's not meme land. Well, the good thing is about Bitcoin, we're above the 63.7 again, so that's pretty good. Miles says, "Would you like to buy a used Saturn?" Man, I had a Saturn. I needed like a beater, so I bought a Saturn. Was it SC1 or SL1? SC1. It was a little two-door car, the tiniest car with no power, but it got like 45 miles per gallon. And I bought a used one with only like, it was like a 20-year-old one, but it only had like 500 miles. So it was like basically a new old car. And I had that for years. And it was a really good fuel efficient car. And I think I only bought it for like $5,000. That was like maybe 20 years ago. Get a little recovery. A little recovery up to 64,000. Splash, how old do you think I am? Some people think I'm still pretty young, relatively speaking, but a lot of people these days I don't really look young. Man, crypto made me age like 30 years. Prior to being in crypto, I was getting carded left and right all the time. Not anymore though. Creepy Sheepy, want to buy my 2012 C63 AMG. 2012? Oops. I remember this car. Not bad. Not bad looking. This one looks great. But that's aftermarket. No, I did not want to buy that. I want to buy a convertible. I'm thinking about the LC 500 convertible. I really want to get that car. Who guessed? Who guessed I'm 56? Come on now. What did I have before? I forgot. Was it like an Saturn S? I think it's SC1. Yeah, this is what I had in green. It's like 45 miles to the gallon. Uh, 2001. Man, this car I still miss. I had the exact car, this right here. 2001 M5, 6-speed. This was a terrific car. I love this car. And this is still a classic. Crypto Moose, you made a great point. Diversification will not get you rich. Do you recommend splitting 10K in Cardano and Polygon looking for guaranteed returns? I wouldn't recommend either one of those. If you were going to put 10K in something else, I think even Bitcoin gives greater performance. You know, for me, if I had 10K, I'd probably split it in Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and maybe throw in like Toncoin as a fourth, something like that. G7, I wish I was 36 again. I did see the new Bugatti. It's like a 1800 horsepower car, which is crazy. Hey, we're above 64,000, so that's good. Maybe my full moon prediction is going to be accurate. The strawberry full moon. I think this is a good looking car. This is a really good looking car. I think LC 500s are just really good looking. 2024 they updated it, so at least it gets a updated infotainment system, but that's pretty nice interior. See, what's annoying about this is they don't show you the front end. Why don't they just show the front end instead of like the rear end? I think that looks good. Han says, George, have you considered TRT or HGH? HGH? What are you talking about? I'm not a bodybuilder. TRT I have considered. But you know, once you get on TRT, you gotta stick with it forever. Forever. So I'm trying not to do that, though every day I'm thinking I should. I think it's about $130,000. Doesn't say. I'm pretty sure it's 130,000. I remember. The convertible, no, a little bit less, 103,000. That's the 2023 model though. Caffeine injected, you're welcome. HGH is healthy, not steroids. HGH is human growth hormone. That's even worse. People have like bloated stomachs and stuff because of it. Your organs become huge. Yeah, I don't think that's right. What is your favorite food dish? I don't know why, but within the last like few years, I crave pizza. Like if I see it, like I just want to eat pizza. And it's the one thing I really can't eat a lot of because I'm trying to like not eat carbs. I don't know why, but I've just been craving pizza for a long time. Like when I was, yeah, in my like 20s and 30s, maybe in college I had some pizza, but my 30s I didn't care for pizza at all. Anyways, I don't really, I like Indian food. I like, simple stuff, burgers, euros, hot dogs, and Chinese food, you know, usual stuff. Clean diet, exercise, and sleep, even though, yes, those things are great, it's just not enough. Once you're in your 40s and 50s, your testosterone just goes down so low. You need a little boost. All those guys that you see that are super jacked, even though they're in 40s and 50s, and there's a lot more of them than you would imagine. They're all on TRT, every single one. It's not even your doctor will prescribe it to you. It's not even like taboo anymore. You go to your doctor and you're saying you want to get on TRT, they'll give it to you. It's like a very common thing now. Yeah, I'm not big into pho and ramen. I mean, I don't crave it. It's just not something I crave. Ashley, can you start a TRT transformation channel? No, no. First things first. Um, yeah, diet and exercise. I mean, this week has been horribly bad for my knee because not only did I play basketball, then I went to spike, and that made things a little worse. So I've been trying to wait for it to recover before I do any more. But after that, yeah, maybe. Intermittent fasting, I don't know. I've been doing intermittent fasting for years. It doesn't really do much for me. Although I would say I've been cheating on it, but when I was hardcore dieting back in the day, I would be doing that too. It alone doesn't seem to be doing much. When you combine it with other things, it does seem to help. Do I hold Jasmine? No, I've never liked that project. My hero. I'm not gonna repeat what you said. But you know what? All this chat is making Bitcoin pump back up, so that's good. That's good. Have you looked at Phalax? New decks on Solana Falcon? Someone showed me it to me before, but primarily everyone just uses Radium still. So haven't really done a deep dive. Trial Ozempic. Yeah, it seems like every celebrity is using it now. The problem with Ozempic is it curbs your appetite so much. Like basically you're losing weight for sake of losing weight. You lose muscle with that fat loss, but mostly you lose muscle. So if you ever get off, then you're in a worse position than you were before, unless you're extremely obese. Then I would say obviously it's worth it. But a lot of people that can simply just diet and exercise, they just take it because it's the easy way, and they actually hurt themselves more by using it. Ozempic f's up your stomach. Yeah, some people have side effects, but like, man, there's so many celebrities that have been overweight for so long. All of a sudden, you see them, they're like super skinny. First of all, it looks wrong, and second of all, it's just, yeah, you could tell they're not exercising. So I hear if you're gonna be on Ozempic, you gotta eat a ton of protein and you gotta exercise. Otherwise, you're gonna just lose all that muscle, and you'll be in a worse position. We're having a decent little pump here. What's your opinion on Flare Network? Not a whole lot. I don't really know what's going on in Flare. They're a L1. Supposedly, they were going to be concentrating just on XRP and XRP Ledger, and there's a close relationship there. A lot of XRP guys got airdrop Flare tokens, but after they came out their L1, I don't really hear much about them, honestly. Don't hear about a lot of dApps or memes or anything that's on top of Flare. Why is Ozempic a scam? Seems like it's working. Even Elon takes Ozempic. But I think he got off of it. He's starting to gain weight again. That's the problem with people that take it. Usually when they get off, or, you know, it tapers off. I mean, the effect goes away just like anything, right? So when people get off of it, they seem to gain back the weight extremely quick. And it's mostly because they lost all that muscle. Sinister, I appreciate that. Yeah, but Bezos is definitely on HGH and TRT. Massive doses of it. Um, J Quest. That phenomenon, I guess, is too overplayed. But I agree with you. If someone made a meme coin of that, probably be a good idea. Probably do well. Norris and Solana HGH. Yeah, I mean, you could tell. Stallone is more jacked now in his like 60s and 70s than he was when he was in his 20s. I mean, come on. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. All these guys are jacked still very late in their age. It's not natural. Boys is really good. Yeah, I just caught up with episode 4. The Boys show is awesome. It's really crazy though. I mean, it's really out there, really raunchy. But if you're an adult, go watch it, especially if you like superhero movies. Pete. All right, guys. I think that's good enough for a Friday. Well, the good thing is, seems like the market's coming up a little bit. That's good. Coming back up a little bit. The U.S. market overall is still down. Trying to flip green. But you know what? When in doubt, zoom out, guys. Okay, I think you know the drill. We do have Germany that's selling spot market for some reason. Miners are still selling. But you gotta stick with Bitcoin, right? It's digital scarcity. And scarcity creates value. So I'll just leave it at that. Smash a like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right. Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.